You guys, I am so excited. I joined the Marguerite Miller Collage Club and I could not be more impressed or more excited about this membership. So this is a membership with Marguerite Miller and I will leave the links down below. It's a monthly membership, but it's access to a whole community, a whole library of images for collage, and the community is amazing. You can share pictures of your projects, comment, make friends, work on lots of different types of projects. So I'm gonna just quickly walk you through my first introduction into it because I just joined in October. I want to just give you a quick overview of some of the things, and then we're going to dive into getting my project started because I'm a little bit behind. So this is October of 2024, and this is a magazine that Marguerite publishes in the club every month. And it's just wonderful. I went ahead and printed 2 out so you could get an idea about the magazine. Very informative, very comprehensive. There's an artist spotlight. It's really neat. This is the September version here. I'm probably going to each month print these out and put them in my sheet protectors in a notebook and catalog them that way, and that way I can always reference them later for more inspiration. They're really fun to read. Love the magazine. This month's project, if you look at the October 2024 magazine, is passports, and it is 1 year of the collage community, and it is so well organized. You can download the app onto your phone or device and do everything that you need from the app. And so there's a whole app for it, and there are so many resources. So once you've paid your monthly fee, everything I'm showing you here is free. There's no add-ons, there's no extra costs, there's no hidden fees. It's all inclusive of that one payment. And so these printables are for the passport. Now I printed up 2 extra pages here because I think I'm going to double my pages. But this is for the passport. You know I have to make it my own. It's just how I am. I wanted to show you a couple of other things before we get going here. I really like this idea too because it's bite-sized. There is a take 3 assignment each month that you can participate in, where you create a collage with the following 3 images and your own papers, share in the community circle or on Instagram. There's also assignments. So you guys have seen me for the last 2 years use her assignments. And so the assignments are a part of the take 3. So you don't need both necessarily. They all coordinate. And I love that her assignments for the Collage Weekly prompts are here in the take 3. So I just printed a couple of take 3s so you could get an idea. I think I printed that one twice. I sure did. Sometimes when I hit print, I can't tell if I've hit print or not. And so I end up getting duplicates, but I don't really mind. It was a project where they had library cards that they were doing, and this one had a great template for a pocket, and then it had some additional cards as well. I thought this was a great general page to use whenever. When it's, during the springtime, there's flowers. There's just all kinds of resources there for you. What's great about that is, again, it's included in your membership, and you don't have to worry about sourcing so many images on your own. It's not a great expense to follow along with these projects because most everything that you need is included. So for example, let's take the passport. The passport, this is a part of, free printable within all of her stuff. So, no cost there. You just have to print it. All the stuff, obviously, you do have to print. It's in digital format. If I follow the magazine, I can tell that to follow the countries, they're going to New Zealand, Australia, India, China, Russia, Japan, United States, Alaska specifically, and Canada, British Columbia. So these are supposed to be the stops on your passport. What Marguerite has provided are a collage sheet for each stop. So here's New Zealand. That's the first stop. Australia, and I think I printed that one twice too. India, China, Japan. There is a Russia, but I'm not going to Russia. Canada, United States, and this one I accidentally printed twice. No big deal. And then there was some really cool postcards, these little postcard images that also coordinate with the different countries. So Shanghai, this is Shanghai, this is Russia, you know, Japan. There were some fun stamps. These, obviously this is Alaska, Japan, more Alaska, Australia, New Zealand, just a whole variety. India. So for your stops that you're supposed to stop at in the passport, then you've already got a collection of images that you can use. You don't have to go and source that. So I think that's a great value, because I think that if this is just a project you kind of want to pick up, you want to sharpen and hone in your skills of collage, everything you need is provided for you. And so you don't have to spend a lot of time sourcing materials. You don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, we're going to India. I don't have any images from India. I don't know what to do. You don't have to worry about any of that, because Marguerite already provides it for you in the membership. The community is really positive and beautiful, filled with collage artists of all skill levels. So if you're just getting started, don't feel intimidated by maybe being a beginner. Beginners, all levels are welcome. There's lives that you can participate in, and I mean, the list just goes on of the resources and the depth of this particular club. I have to say, it's the most in-depth membership and most organized, like, crafty class that I've ever been in. And I'm excited about it. I will get started on my passport, and I'll talk a little bit more about why I made this decision and how happy I am with it. All right, so let's get going. I do need to play catch up here. No surprise there. So let's get this mat out of the way and let's get caught up. I am going to keep these videos to 30 minutes. So I'll get as much done in the first 30 minutes that I can, and then I will come back and work again. My table's a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. It's just because I'm a busy crafter. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is grab, I'm going to grab a sheet of, you know, Maggie Holmes. I just absolutely love Maggie Holmes. This is going to be my passport cover, okay? And so I'm going to use this because I just want a cover. These are going to be my inside pages. Now, I need to measure this. So this is roughly about 9.5 by 7.5. Okay. I think I'll make my cover slightly bigger. It is really hard to pick a side because this is like my favorite paper in the world. Oh my goodness, but I think that this reminds me of a passport. Passports are usually blue, I get that, but this is a crafty passport, so we don't have to make it identical. Okay, it was about 9.5. I'm gonna choose to cut the shortest side first since it's non-directional. Yeah. The shortest side, I believe, will be this side here, which was about 7 inches. I'm going to go a little bigger, and then I'm double checking my measurements. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go a little bit taller than that. I'm going to do 7 1/4. I hope you guys are having a super awesome day. I'm trying to get back into having, you know, a little bit of edited videos in my collection here of videos. I've really gotten into the lives and just do so many lives now. But I know some people miss my shorter videos, my edited videos. And I think that this is the happy place, which is where I do real-time videos that are for a set amount of time, like 30 minutes, for example. And we craft in real time, talk. It's like the best of both worlds. As far as, you know, real-time crafting, which is what's great about a live. I mean, I personally like hanging out with my friends in my lives, but the real-time crafting, I think there's so much benefit in that. Okay. I'm deciding right now, I'm going to cut 2 pages at once. And I'm just hand cutting these. You could definitely cut them on a trimmer. It would be much faster. But scissors work too. Collage. Let's talk about collage for a minute. Some people may be new to my channel, and maybe you don't know, but I have loved collage my whole life. It is the one, I think, consistent art form that has come and gone through different periods of my life. And 2 years ago, I started the Marguerite Miller Collage Weekly Prompts, which you purchase on Etsy, and I can leave a link to those down below as well. And for me, it really was a good practice, and I became a better artist because of it. Not just like a collage artist, but an artist in general. What I discovered from doing that every week was that in my collage, I'm definitely a storyteller. Some people collage random bits, and they're what I would call an aesthetic artist. I am a storytelling collage artist. And I discovered that from doing the weekly prompts. I like finding a story, even if it's not my own. I just like finding a story and connecting that in the collage. All right, I'm gonna go with these two. I have one extra one here. Okay, what I've been trying to decide is with Marguerite's, I guess I can just show you the 2 ways I see this collage book. The ways, I'm sure there's lots and lots of ways that you can make your passport book. In Marguerite's example, she has stitched hers together. And I love that. Just a little tiny stitched book. You know, most passports are stapled. If you have, you could staple this as well. That would be an option. Another thing that you could do would be treat this like, you'd have to print this page twice, trim this off, but you could treat this like an accordion journal as well, and fold your pieces and connect them and glue them like this, so you didn't have to bind it. You just have to end with a place to glue, you know, to the front and back of your cover. That would be an option. I'm gonna stitch mine in. Now I'm just going to do a two stitches. I'm going to keep it real simple, and I'm only going to do this many pages. So I may not visit all the countries in the book. We'll see. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to use my glue stick and put my pages together. And then I imagine we'll have about enough time to put our passport book together. There we go. Okay, let's do that one more time for this one right here. I liked the idea. You could print these front and back. You most certainly could do that. However, I liked the idea of doubling them up because with my collage, I like a little bit of mixed media. I like to stencil. I like watercolor. I like different mediums, inks and stamping. And so I didn't want to print double-sided and only use one sheet of paper in my book, because I know I would have bleed through you know, from one page to the next, and I definitely don't want that. So I opted instead to do it this way, where I print the pages single-sided, and then I'm going to join them together. I'm going to show you another way that you could bind this book. Sometimes book binding is the most intimidating thing about starting a project. You know, we all come in at different levels and have different skill sets, and we have different hang-ups. And for some, the hang up is, oh my gosh, I don't want to sew. I don't want to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I don't want to bind my book, but I want to make a book. There's so many options. Don't let that stop you. Okay, so then these go like this. I'm looking for my cover. There she is. So this is my cover. I also like this option because I really want to still be able to see this paper. I'm going to take my pages and score them down the middle. And this is the correct order that I need them in. So here we could most certainly stitch them in. Another option that you have is using string and just binding them with a string tied around like this. And what's kind of fun about this idea, we'll go with this today, is that you can always add more pages into your journal and go to more countries. You can start small. And if the project, you know, whisk you away into being a collage traveling junkie, then you can simply add more pages because there's no holes, there's no staples, and nothing is really bound together in a real significant way, but it's enough to keep your project together. I think for a simple project like this, this is more than enough. Because this is just a little passport, right? I always decorate my covers last. It's just what I do. And now here, I can tell like this white edge is thicker on the front. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to go to my first page, and I don't have a lot of things print or cut. I don't have anything pre-cut. That's what I'm trying to say. But let's just take a look at things. Let's see where we're going first. The first country we're going to is New Zealand. So let's take a look. I know the Hobbit movie, or it's was filmed in New Zealand. The little Hobbit movie. What I like about this a whole lot is the idea of sitting and learning a little bit more and really kind of diving into the idea of traveling to these countries. So one thing you could do, if you have time and you have the interest, you could Google and do research about New Zealand. So one of the things, you could incorporate their flags. You could incorporate different information if you wanted. The dialing code, sometimes we like to put random numbers and letters on our collage projects. You could put a +64. Maybe we'll do that. That's the dialing code. You could look up their capital, how many people are there. You could look at, learn more about the country now or later, the history of the country. And then you could incorporate that into your project. Here, there's things all about the New Zealand currency. I mean, you could go as far as you want to go with your collage. You can incorporate the elements that you want to incorporate. One thing I thought would be kind of fun is it's October right now. And I thought it would be kind of fun to add in a holiday essence to your collage. So, you could add in, like if you were traveling during Christmas, for example, you could add Christmas images even through your travels. Or if there's a holiday, like, if you're collaging this over Thanksgiving, you could add that. And so you could personalize these in some fun ways. You could add pictures of your own family members, almost like a vision board, like for your family traveling to these countries together. I think there are endless possibilities of how you can take this project, for example, and make it meaningful. And I think that goes back to why I'm a storyteller in my collage making, because I like there to be meaning. And I know that it's powerful for some for things to not mean anything. It's like you get tired of overthinking, right? But for my brain does like meaning, and it likes story. It likes context. And I think that there's a lot of ways that you can add that into this project and into this collage, this particular prompt with the passports. I really like this image here. And I think there's some other ones as well. Okay, so got 4 from there. Now I'm going to be keeping mine in a little binder just to stay more organized and keep everything together. My craft room is just overflowing, so I think it'll help me to have everything all together. So now I'm going to go through here. I could pull out some of the stamps, and you could of course pull from past catalogs, and past information. Let's see. there. I knew there were some kind of landscapey images. And I think what I'm going to do, so these are New Zealand here. Oh, it looks like this is it's New Zealand and Australia. I'm not sure which landmarks belong where. But I think what I want to do is, these are very watercolory. I think I pick this one. I want to kind of paint this myself. I really like this waterfall too, into my collage. So as I said before, that's why I wanted to double these up. This is not watercolor paper, and I did run this through an inkjet printer. So an inkjet printer. I think what I already like about this binding is that I can take my page out and work on it. So I think I really like this waterfall, and I like this image here. I only have 5 minutes, so I have to do whatever I'm going to do. I have to keep it simple. But let's do this. I think I'm going to bring in, this is pastel. I'm going to bring in my pastel palette and do a little watercoloring. Now, I should probably test this. I'm going to test it. I cut this piece off. I don't know how this paper accepts watercolor. Oh, that'll be just fine with me. Okay, let's go. Ooh, I think this palette is kind of perfect for this. Now, this doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't, you don't have to do this in yours, in your passport book, but I love watercolor. And again, this is about practice for me. I'm not worried about the end project when I do the Marguerite Miller collages and prompts. I know that by doing this, I become a better artist by practice. This is my practice and playtime. I'm not trying to create a project that I'm too concerned with the outcome. It's not a gift for someone. It's not anything I'm selling in my shop, on my website. This is my time to grow as an artist. So that's very freeing. Okay, and I love just the different colors of this rock face here. So I'm going to try to bring some of that in. I like that this is watercolor directly on this paper, so the passport lines are still showing. I like that. It is incorporating it. It's melding like into the collage. Okay, so we've got some pink. We definitely need some of that blue. I like the blue in the rock face. I love all the color. Now, in future videos, you can expect that we're not going to do a whole recap or introduction to the Marguerite Miller collage prompts, but I wanted to start there because this is the start for me as well. And I wanted to introduce you guys to the club so that you understand when I do come back and just start jumping into things, where is she getting all of this stuff? I can always point back to this video and get everyone on the same page. Okay, now this right now may look a little awkward because it just looks like a bunch of lines. I will have to come back in with my pen and define some of this. So let me work on that real quick. I have the basic foundation of this done. I'm going to come on in with my micron pen, looking for the correct size. My eyes. Sometimes my eyes can't tell if it's an 8 or a 3. This is a 5. It's a little bigger. I would like to have a 3, but my 3 has wandered off. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add some defining lines here. I'm deciding before I put the pen to paper. I kind of like that these are all blue. I think instead of my micron, I am going to use my fine liner. And yes, I guess we're going to go over 30 minutes. Hello, that's how I am. All right. I like the idea of using this blue. These are Arteza fine line pens, but you can get fine line pens from lots of places. And I'm just going to come in here and start kind of adding some details and making this rock face kind of come to life. For a lot of people, this would not make it into their collage process, to be painting and drawing and sketching, but it's a part of my process. And how I found my process was by collaging every week. You know, I'm also a card maker, a junk journaler, a paper crafter. And so, but I really feel like one of the best developmental things I ever did for my art was a collage weekly prompts. Now, a lot of people like to collage and they don't use prompts, and I respect that. But for me, there are so many options and there's so many places to go that I like having a little guidance. I like having guardrails, okay? Otherwise, I could definitely go off the rails of creativity, okay? Okay, I'm going to get a little bit of green here. I want a very soft, actually, I think I want this one. So yeah, these are the Arteza Ink Onic pens. I really love them. I've used them for years and years and years. And they're just really nice. It's like having a micron, but in color. So all I'm doing here is kind of adding a little definition to that kind of tree line that's far off in the distance back there. Your brain will fill in the gaps of, you don't have to put every detail into things. Your brain will definitely fill in gaps for you. Now, I do have some traditional elements here that were a part of the whole shebang. I do think I'll title my collage like New Zealand up here. So let me move this down a little bit. And as I look at this, I do think that I want a little bit of color still here. Our image, what I watercolored, was right there. There is nothing past that. So at this point, you know, I pick a color that resonates with me. I get to extend the view of the scene myself. So there's no wrong choice. I'm going to extend the blue with it, or this green, the scene with this green. There we go. I hope you guys will come along with me as I go on this journey. It's going to be, you know, like anything else on my channel. It is, it's going to be here, but it's going to be in different times, and I have a lot to fit in, but I definitely plan on making this a part of the journey. Okay, just that little bit of color That makes me happy. It kind of grounds the images nicely. And I think this is what we're gonna do. I do want to put some stamps, like passport stamps, on here. You could definitely cut these out. There's 2 different New Zealand titles that you could cut out. Let's look at this page. I think this is a part. Oh, there's New Zealand right there. Yeah, these stamps. And then I have some other stamps too that I can use, like some cancellation stamps. And I think I'll also use my date stamp. This is going to kind of be my title, if you will. So I've got New Zealand there. I have my date stamp, and it is October. It is not the 7th. Not that this has to be accurate, but why not? It's documenting my journey. Okay, so I'll be able to stamp that as well. Let's glue these things down. All of my stamps will be going over these images anyways. I know, we went over the 30 minutes. I said, this is going to be a 30-minute video, and it's 36. It's just, hi, that's how it is here. Don't let that bother you. It is what it is. I'm doing this in real time, and I'm not one to stop. I'm not going to stop halfway through this so that I can give you a 30-minute video. I'm going to go, I like completion, so I'm going to complete my project. Yeah, I'm not going to break up the project into 2 videos because that would be annoying. They're not coming out the same day. You'd have to wait. That would be annoying. So we're just going to see it through here. Besides, when you clicked on this video, you knew it was more than 30 minutes. I just didn't know it. I'm the one being surprised. Okay. You could distress around the edges of these things, but it's really whatever. It's anything you want it to be. There are no rules. You can do as much or as little as you want. As I said, you could incorporate pictures of yourself, even from 20 years ago, or grandchildren, children, you know, anything you want. If you and your partner had traveled to these places, it could almost be like a scrapbook of sorts and an homage to your travels together. There is just no shortage of possibilities. I have these round and around Unity stamps. They're just circles, but I love them because they're solid. There is one this one right here that does have a ring, but the rest of these are solid, and I've never seen a company do that before, and I love it. So I think I'll probably use these a few times in this passport book. I could see these being kind of fun and handy. Let's just stamp this right here. I think I only need these for this particular page. This one. And what's fun about this is it can be any color. You could do gradient colors. It could just be anything you want it to be. I'm going to do it in scorched timber. Let's see what a dark brown looks like. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I get a good amount of ink there on it. Let's stamp it right there. I'm going to let that kind of transfer the ink, and I'm going to grab another set of stamps. Sorry, I'm looking for them. I wish I had them handy. We'll use that one. I know. I bumped my circle, didn't I? It's okay. I got a little ghosting there, but not too much. And then let's stamp with some of this. This is Kathy Holden, The Market Finds. I believe this was produced by Spellbinders. Yeah. And you might still find it on their shop. I think it will be nice to add just a random signature here and some more details. So that really is a dark circle. I like how distressed it is. Probably depends on the kind of ink that you choose, like what kind of results you'll get. Put my signature right here. Not my signature, but somebody's signature right there. I love the way this page is coming together. I would love to go to New Zealand. Obviously, I don't have any personal experiences there for me to incorporate into my collage, but maybe in the future. It would be fun to do something like this if you have an upcoming trip coming. I think that would be really fun too. So now I'm going to just play with my stamps just a little bit, adding a little more detail. And then this page will be done. We'll pop it back in our passport book. I'm so glad I just bound it with that string around it, because, especially because I am very mixed media in my approach. And I'm going to put some random numbers. Oh, we needed to put the plus, was it plus 62 for the country code? If y'all ever been through customs and they just stamp your passport all crazy and you're like, did you have to stamp it like that? Or is that just me? That's happened to me. Okay, I think that is good on the stamps. And now let's add a little handwriting of our own. And I'm going to add that country code. I just want to look back again and make sure I'm remembering it correctly. Plus 64, not 62. Glad I went back to that. I have this pink marker over here on my desk, and then this is going to wrap it up. I like this pink because it kind of ties in the pink that was in that mountain range. Okay, let's do this. Let's put this back in our passport book, and we'll have our first destination documented. This passport book will evolve. I'll eventually do something to the cover, and as everything goes, it will evolve into its own little treasure, its own little travel treasure. So there's our first documented page. I hope you enjoyed hearing more about the Collage Club. I'm going to leave everything linked down below. And on our next visit, I believe we're going to Australia. I have so many friends in Australia, so I can't wait to make that page with you guys. All right, see you next time. Bye.